Alright. It's gonna sound like garbage. Ow.
What? There's another fucking hanger?
Hey, there's one right up here.
You got all of it?
Mm-hmm.
You're free and clear, buddy. I don't know why it was there in the first place. And then, like, I try to do something just to get, like, home and it doesn't work.
Yeah. Boom. So many people. All right.
Should work.
Yeah, bolt. Oh, see, I think that's a good height right there, man. She could be a little bit higher, but work for me. Oh, I see what's going on over here. There's a lot of space once that's out of there. Not that.
That's clearly too small. It's clearly too small. We'll get close. Probably the next one. I wish we would have bought a clamp.
Did I save that one?
Not one.
Really, this will be the relative most of the rider.
I'm pretty sure it's a 2-minute. It's fucking close though. Part of it. I got the big gap filled.
So loose. Weld a hanger to this, honestly. I mean, we've got pieces of hangers.
Cross that when we get
So we're pretty close to getting everything together here. Really, this is just kind of our final fit and form for the engine bay. We have the piping run down through. We have it coming down through here into our fender well, coming out, and coming back around this way, back up through the fender well, and coming back up through here. It's a couple things that we kind of like ran into that are kind of a little sketchy. Is there was just no room for the turbo and anything in here with these AC lines, and like this truck's gonna go to North Carolina, so we're attempting to leave the airlines on and the AC hooked up, but like it's pretty sketchy. That might blow out when it runs. We'll see how it goes. Obviously you can like get a kit to relocate all this system, but at that point I guess you would just deal with no AC in my mind. I don't know how Eric feels about that, but everything's pretty much good to go. And we were kind of rushing through literally to beat a birthday party timing. And we had just made a simple mistake on the oil pan and the drain line from the turbo going to the oil pan. I'm not really sure what either of us was thinking, but you know, the fitting just was kind of like this solid fit piece in there. There's really no like compression in there. So we dropped the oil pan, dropped the center subframe piece in between the suspension in the front, and we drilled the hole through and like got everything in there, and then we just like coated it with RTV and threw it back together, like we let it do the cure time and everything for some reason, but RTV doesn't hold torque. So we were trying to beat that birthday party. We were kind of rushing around. We did what we could and tried to hold the drain line still while we tightened down, because we did have a little bit of drip once we put the new oil in, and it just clearly tore it out of there. I mean, you're not gonna beat that. So we set it back up, and she's sitting up right now, and pretty much drain the oil again, brand new oil, and we're gonna be taking the pan off, taking the subframe out so we can get the pan off, and then we're gonna be welding that in there, because that probably makes more sense than a circle of RTV. But so that kind of set us back a day or so. But I mean, this thing's pretty damn close to firing. I mean, we're midweek as of shooting this right now. So we'll see when we can get to it. Might get to it tomorrow or something like that. Not that these videos represent any kind of time chunk for you guys, but we'll see where it goes. And hopefully we get that line in there. We should be able to get oil moving through the engine, get it to the turbo, see if it runs, right?
So, as you can see, our oil return is leaking. I don't know if it's leaking out of the back side of that fitting, but it's definitely leaking where it meets the pan. I put RTV around it to seal it up so it didn't leak oil. And I just went to tighten the line a little bit, and I think I tore the RTV. So we might wire wheel it. We haven't made up our mind what we're gonna do yet. We might wire wheel all that RTV off, but you can see it's dripping pretty good. We got oil all back there. It's the only spot that I can find that's leaking, it's wet. So hopefully that will be our solution for this problem.
Oh, it's nasty. Need a stick?
Seems to have put this stuff on, but
It's like 3 threads.
yeah. But anything that helps. I could silicone it in there too.
Look at that bead.
It's fine, it'll dry.
Oh, got some more inside the motor.
It'll dry.
You're gonna gum the whole motor up. Start shaking yet?
Yeah, because my blood sugar is low.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I got last time.
Oh man.
Need you to hold it up there.
I might have to come under. Oh, man. You try to start with throttle, what do you get? Oh wow, the selfie right at the sun. Maybe we should do it like this direction. There we go.
Still running super rich. We're thinking we might pull the SAFC out and see where we're at with that, and then probably put this in, which is the FMU. It just mechanically controls the amount of fuel that gets put in.
That's got a 10-to-1 disc in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're at negative 20%, running negative 20%, and we're still getting air fuel of like the bottom end of the sensor of like 8.27.
So it's probably even lower than that.
Took out the D-cell air, and it lost its ability to really idle well and could stall out coming down from RPMs. So the SAFC just does not feel like it has any accuracy to it. Now, of course, we're not like actually tuners, but it just feels like it's like you throw it one direction, you throw 20% at it one way, and you throw 20% at it the other way, and you get the same result, or you get the opposite result once, and then it goes back to the same result. So see if the FMU handles it, and we'll go from there. That's pretty much the only thing. I mean, it's been running, it's been driving, it's gone 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, we can start it.
I mean, it just doesn't seem to do anything.
Sounds like a tractor.
Yeah. So we'll see.
And you try to put two oil feed lines together. You're gonna have to buy a jumbled mess of brass parts from Lowe's or Home Depot or just somewhere that sells brass fitting, because let's call it the female end is a 1/4-inch fitting, where the male end, or the other, I guess, female end of the T that we're using is an 1/8.
Right.
So you have to. We spent half of today trying to get this oil feed right. We've already had this running, but it's just leaking oil everywhere. Show them under the truck because how much oil is spilled out.
Yeah, that was pretty decent.
So save yourself the headache. Get an 1/8-inch, just double male end.
Yeah, it's gotta be a flared.
And then a 1/4 to, or an 1/8 to a 1/4, and then the 1/4-inch male end that you need there to fit your compression fitting.
Yep. Cool. Sort of. It should literally too be like the fucking injectors, dude. Literally might just not have enough.
There's no way I don't have enough injector for stock fuel.
Maybe.
Stock fuel pressure. It's got that circulating over here.
Well. All right, so we pulled the SAFC thinking that it was just causing us a bunch of problems and we were going to put in the FMU. And we ran codes in the truck and we had a bad mass airflow sensor. So bought a new one, pulled the old one today, and it was literally broken in half.
It's right in there.
Is it?
Like in the bed of the...
Yeah, so there's supposed to be more up here. So broke that, and which unfortunately just sucks because now we have to rewire the SAFC, and it also means that probably any of the tuning we've been doing and the varying results of just insanely rich that we've been getting really was just because the ECU was being manipulated by the SAFC, but the data that it was getting was wrong because the mass airflow was shot. So now the problem is without the SAFC, if you're just running the mass airflow that's working, it senses all that air and it just dumps fuel at idle, and it can't hold an idle without throttle. So you take the boot off the turbo, off the intake, and it'll run. You put the boot back on and get the boost in there, and it won't run. So we got to install the SAFC again. Go through that, see if we can remember the wires and find what we used.
You know what wires we tapped into. We just got to figure out which wires
go where. Yep. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. I don't know if we're gonna get much done past that.